Afternoon. It's afternoon now, right? Yes. Trekker. Yes. The last class I was in, they all said, "Thank you, miss," and they were silent because I couldn't remember my name. It's okay. I'm going to be here just for a little bit with you to do some close reading. And then actually I get to come back a little later, I think, and watch you do more close reading. So it's a close reading kind of day. So the text we have is, "Are you ready, Sam?" Are you ready, Sam? What do you think about that title?
That it sounds like a question.
Yeah, it's like a question title, right? Are you ready, Sam? Now, there's not really pictures, but if you quickly scan the text, what do you think the genre might be? Are you ready, Sam? What genre might it be? What makes you say that? So nonfiction is true. What do you think about what she's thinking?
I wrote medicine, but in nonfiction books, they have a lot of sentences, and they stop.
It's like a lot of information, it looks like. So it looks like nonfiction, but you know what? It's actually a fiction text. Yeah. This text is fiction. So knowing that, are you ready, Sam? I was thinking Sam's probably a character, so which made me think that it's probably fiction. So now that we do know that it's fiction, and as we read it, we can kind of confirm that it's fiction, what are our thinking jobs going to be? I think you have a nice chart here. What are the thinking jobs for a fiction text? Character, problem, solution, lesson learned. We do typically, there is a setting in fiction text. We don't really usually name that as a thinking job. It's usually character, problem, solution, lesson learned. So that's how we're going to frame our thinking as we read Are You Ready, Sam? I'm going to read it once. You're going to follow along as best you can. After I read it once, I'm going to choose a part for us to try to read together, okay? But the first time I read will just be my voice. Are you ready, Sam? The clouds hung low in the gray sky. The chirping of the bluebirds woke me from my restful sleep. As I slowly woke, I got a funny feeling in my stomach. Today was the day. Today I had to do something I have been afraid to do for a long time. Breakfast was normal and I began to relax. Mom came into the kitchen asking, "Are you ready, Sam?" "Yes," I answered quietly. I wasn't really. The school bus came on time and I sat with my friend Billy. We chatted about baseball and trading cards. It was a great way to get my mind off what I had to do today. As we approached the school, I could feel my heart beating. My hands were starting to sweat. I hated this. I entered Mrs. Owen's class. She was smiling and saying hello to all her students as she did every morning. "Hi, Sam," she said as I walked in. "Hi," I said and quickly sat in my seat. We said the pledge, then took our spelling test. I looked at the clock. The time was near. I hope I'm not first. Mrs. Owen said it was time to begin our special day. Special day? That's a joke. Mrs. Owens announced, "Sam, you'll be first." I got up slowly, looking at the ground as I walked to the front of the room. I looked up and everyone was staring at me. Mrs. Owens must have known I was nervous because she came by me and put her hand on my back. She said to the class, "Sam has worked very hard on his report and I know it is very interesting." Then she turned to me and asked, "Sam, what did you like best about your report on Hawaii?" I nervously addressed my class saying, "Aloha." Then I thought about the fun things I had read about surfing, volcanoes, and pineapples, and started to talk. Before I knew it, I was telling the class about everything I had learned. I talked in front of the whole class, and it was fun. It wasn't scary after all. The class clapped as I finished, and Mrs. Owens was smiling. I was proud of myself. Okay, that's a long one. Let's read the last paragraph together. So put your finger on the very last paragraph. Where it starts, yep. We're going to try to read, starting there, that last paragraph together, and your job is going to be to try your best to keep your voices up with mine. I'm not going to slow down. I'm going to read it like normal, like a fluent read, and you're going to try to read it with me, okay? I nervously addressed my class saying, "Aloha." Then I thought about the fun things I had read about, surfing, volcanoes, and pineapples, and I started to talk. Before I knew it, I was telling the class about everything I had learned. I talked in front of the whole class and it was fun. It wasn't scary after all. The class clapped as I finished and Mrs. Owens was smiling. I was proud of myself. Okay, Nice job. So now that we have read it through, we read part of it together, we talked about how we're going to think about it today, let's kind of get into it. Let's try to see if we can figure out what this main idea is. We know we've got to be thinking about the character, the problem, the solution, the lesson learned, right? So I'm going to just read the first chunk to you again, and then I'm going to ask you something, okay? The clouds hung low in the gray sky. The chirping of the bluebirds woke me from my restful sleep. As I woke, I got a funny feeling in my stomach. Today was the day. Today I had to do something I had been afraid to do for a long time. Breakfast was normal and I began to relax. Mom came into the kitchen asking, "Are you ready, Sam?" "Yes," I answered quietly. I wasn't really. The school bus came on time and I sat with my friend Billy. We chatted about baseball and trading cards. It was great to get my mind off what I had to do today. As we approached the school, I could feel my heart beating. My hands were starting to sweat. I hated this. Okay, so what do we know so far about the character, or what do we know so far?
She started to feel her hands were starting wet, and she didn't like this, and she was getting
Who?
Sam.
Sam. So we know that Sam is the character, right? And we know that Sam's, you said her hands were starting to sweat.
And she got mad.
Where do you think, where do you find that she's getting mad?
She said she hated that.
Oh, right. Where does she say she hated that? My hands were starting to sweat. I hated this. So we know that Sam's hands are starting to sweat. We know she's saying, "Oh, I hate this." What do we think's going on with Sam?
I think that she's nervous because today is something that they have to read out what they learned.
Interesting. What do you think about what she just said?
I think what she said was,
Do you remember what she said? If not, ask her to repeat it.
her hands were starting to sweat, and she said she hated it, and she thought that she was getting frustrated because she hated that because it's a special day and they have to go in the front and talk about what they learned.
Right. Do you agree with that? Yeah, so in this first part, we do, her hands are, I'm not sure if Sam is a girl or a boy. I don't think we know for sure. Do we?
I know, it's a boy. That's
Do you know from the text? Where in the text?
It doesn't say it, but I know because kindergarten school, I think I read a book.
You think it's, hands down. I'm not convinced that this text tells us either way. I'm going to just try to refer to the character as Sam.
It's a boy. Sam worked very hard on his report.
His report. You're right. It's a boy. Sam. The name could be a girl's name, but in this case, it's a boy. So, exactly. In this first part, we know that Sam is very nervous. You gave us that great word, nervous. I jotted it down. Sam equals nervous. And up in this beginning part, we don't really know why Sam's nervous. You told us from hearing the rest of the text, from reading it, that he's got to talk about what he's learned, right? But right now, we just know that Sam is nervous. He hates feeling nervous. His hands are sweaty. So I'm thinking that this is sort of like the beginning of a problem, right? Yeah, we have the character. I'm not exactly sure what the whole problem is, but I'm going to put problems question mark. Because I'm thinking this is some kind of a problem that he's really not feeling so good, right? His hands are sweating, his heart is beating. You said he's getting frustrated, he hates this. So that's really what we know so far. We have our character, Sam. We've got that he's nervous, and we've got that it's a possible problem. I'm going to read the next section of text, and we're going to see what else we can kind of figure out about Sam and his problem. Okay? I entered Mrs. Owen's class. She was smiling and saying hello to all her students, as she did every morning. "Hi, Sam," she said as I walked in. "Hi," I said, and quickly sat in my seat. We said the pledge, then took our spelling test. I looked at the clock. The time was near. "I hope I'm not first." Mrs. Owen said it was time to begin our special day. Special day? That's a joke. Mrs. Owens announced, "Sam, you'll be first." I got up slowly, looking at the ground as I walked to the front of the room. I looked up and everyone was staring at me. Mrs. Owens must have known I was nervous because she came by me and put her hand on my back. She said to the class, "Sam has worked very hard on his report, and I know it is very interesting." She turned to me and asked, "Sam, what did you like best about your report on Hawaii?" So, what new information did we learn about the problem? What new information did we just get about the problem?
That Sam
I love how your eyes are right on the text.
is.
We learned that Sam.
We learned that Sam is scared.
Yeah, is there a part that you can point us to that shows that? What part? Tell us.
The last part.
Well, we're thinking about this part in the middle, right? Right up to here. We're trying to think about what new information we just figured out about Sam and his problem, maybe. What do you think?
I think that Sam's problem may be bad because it said that his hands were sweaty and he was very nervous.
Well, you said he was very nervous, right? And his hands were, oh, it does. It says, Owens must have known I was nervous. So you think the problem's bad. Do we know specifically what the problem is now? What is the problem? What is the actual problem?
The actual problem was that he was nervous.
Okay, he was nervous. That's a big problem. What was he nervous about?
He was nervous about going up in the front of the class.
Yeah.
Why?
To do what?
Of
Yeah, you're right. Going up in front of the class.
Hawaii.
What was he? You're on the right track. He was nervous about going up in front of the class. Absolutely. What's this about Hawaii?
That they have to say what they learned about of Hawaii.
Yeah, exactly. It's called, when you get older, you'll probably have to do this. It's called a report. He has to give a report on Hawaii. It's exactly what you're saying. He has to talk about what he's learned about Hawaii. And Hawaii is just another state in the country.
But the only thing that he doesn't know is that he doesn't know what he knows that they're talking about Hawaii. But that I think he didn't like try to learn
Tell me if this is what you're trying to say. That you're wondering if the reason he's so nervous about having to give his report is because he didn't really prepare for it? Is that what you're thinking? Well, let's read on and see, but I'm going to capture some of the thinking that you did. You had said that, like, he's scared, right? So I think that's important. I'm going to put that down.
He said that.
Okay, well, do we all agree that Sam was scared? Yeah. But I'm also for sure going to put what the actual problem is, right? I'm going to put that S doesn't want to speak to class. Because you said he doesn't want to go up in front of the class, right? So that's really a more developed problem. At first we thought, oh, the problem is Sam is nervous about something. Now we know specifically Sam is nervous because he has to get up and give a report to the class and he doesn't really want to. Then you have this idea brewing about why doesn't he want to do this?
Because he doesn't know what he's saying.
Is there anything in the text, though, that says that he's unprepared? Let me read that little section again. It says, okay, I got up slowly, looked at the ground as I walked to the front of the room. I looked up and everyone was staring at me. Mrs. Owens must have known I was nervous because she came by me and put her hand on my back. She said to the class, Sam has worked very hard on his report. I know it's very interesting. Does that sound like he wasn't prepared? No, it sounds like she said he worked hard. So why would he be so nervous about this? Why would he be so nervous about this? You're all saying he's nervous, he's scared, he doesn't want to do it. What do you think?
He's nervous about it because there's a lot of people in class and if there's a lot of people, that means he's so nervous.
So maybe he's nervous because there's a lot of people he has to talk to. Do you agree or disagree with that? You agree? Do you want to add on?
Yes, but what was really strange about this is we don't know who was by.
We don't know what?
We don't know who it was by.
Who what was by?
The
The text? There is no author, but we were thinking about why Sam is so nervous, so let's stick with that line of thinking. Hands down for now. Let's read on. Let's read on and see what happens with this problem. Okay. So she turned to me and asked Sam, teacher, then she turned to me and asked Sam, what did you like best about your report on Hawaii? The last paragraph. I nervously addressed my class saying, aloha, that's how you say hello in Hawaiian. Then I thought about the fun things I had read about surfing, volcanoes, and pineapples, and I started to talk. Before I knew it, I was telling the class about everything I had learned. I talked in front of the whole class, and it was fun. It wasn't scary after all. The class clapped as I finished, and Mrs. Owens was smiling. I was proud of myself. Did the problem get solved?
She only got solved because she thought it was fun. But
He
thought it was fun by making all of he thought it was fun that he saying all those things to the class, and he didn't thought that it was not scary anymore.
Okay, so the problem got solved because he said all those things to the class and he didn't think it was scary. What did you want to add on?
I want to add on because the only thing that he was scared of is that I agree with Markel and Naeem, but it's that the only thing that was not fixed is that he didn't want to share it, but now it got fixed because now he's singing, he's learning, now he knows
Yeah.
what they say.
Right, so you agree with her. The problem got solved. He didn't want to share his report at first, but then he shared it and it was fun. But I'm wondering, how did he solve this problem? Which part of, I'm going to reread, and I want you to listen to think about, like, what sentence might be like where Sam's thinking changed a little bit. First, he was so nervous, right? What did he do to kind of overcome that? Let me reread. I nervously addressed my class saying, aloha. Then I thought about the fun things I had read about, surfing, volcanoes, and pineapples, and I started to talk. Before I knew it, I was telling the class about everything I had learned. I talked in front of the whole class, and it was fun. Yeah. Yeah, he does say it wasn't scary after all. But when did that start to change for him? What did he do to make himself not feel so nervous? What did Sam do to help make himself not so nervous?
He read all of them. He thought it was fun now.
Yeah, so let me read that sentence again, because we have to really be careful with this sentence, okay? So you can listen. Then I thought about the fun things I had read about surfing, volcanoes, and pineapples before I started to talk. So what did he think about? What did he think about?
I think that how was that fixed?
Listen to my question. What did Sam think about before he talked?
What does Sam think?
What Sam thought about before he talked?
What Sam talked about when he was thinking about was that he started saying all the things that he was saying when he was up. And also, I think that when the teacher was tapping his head, maybe he noticed now that he knows that now he's nervous.
Okay, I'm going to stop you because the first part of what you said, he thought about the fun things he had read about. So you're right, he thought about all the things he read about and then he started talking, right? So let me ask you one last question. We knew that the character had a problem, right? And we figured out how he solved it. Based on that, what lesson can we learn? We think about how the character, Sam, solved his problem of being nervous by kind of like relaxing, thinking about the fun things. What can we learn from that? What lesson can we take away from that? What do you think?
I think that the lesson should be that standing up and presenting is not that bad, because if you just present, then it would be fun and you wouldn't have to be
Okay.
so scared.
So I agree that Sam learned that. Sam learned that he doesn't really have to be scared of presenting this report because he was able to do it and it wasn't so bad. But if we want to make it bigger than this text and bigger than giving reports, how could we say that so it's a lesson we can kind of apply to other things? What do you think? You want me to call him? What do you think?
I think that it's not that scary to go up because maybe you might know the things that you're supposed to say.
Okay, so again, that's talking about Sam, right? And how he had to give his report. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. If I think about Sam, Sam was nervous. Sam didn't want to give his report, but in the end, he got up there, he tried to relax, and he gave his report, and he figured out it wasn't so bad, right? If I want to learn from Sam's experience, I can think that, okay, so maybe some of the things that you have to do that seem scary aren't that bad once you do them. It's not just giving reports, right? Is there anything else you've ever been nervous about? What have you been nervous about? Okay, nervous to go into school. What happened when you finally did go into school? You made new friends, so was it as bad as you thought it would be? So that's similar to Sam, right? She was nervous to do something, but once she finally did it, it wasn't so bad. Okay, hands down. I'm sure you've all had experiences like that, right? Where you were nervous to do something, and once you did it, it wasn't so bad. So I'm going to quickly jot our main idea. I'll do it down here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take your thinking and put it together so we have a main idea, okay? So you told me the character was Sam, right? What do I need to say about Sam?
Sam is nervous at the beginning and sad and happy at the end.
Okay, I'm going to just go with what you first said. Sam is nervous. Why? Why is he so nervous?
Because he's nervous because the class is maybe gonna laugh at him when he steps up.
What does he have to do that he doesn't want to do?
He has to try.
But what does he have to do? What's he nervous about?
He's nervous about saying the things that he needs to say.
Okay, because he has to speak in front of class.
But then he was not scared. Now he knows that it's not that scary.
I'm going to say what you said before. Sam relaxed, thought about the fun he learned, and I'm going to say it wasn't bad. He had fun, right? And then I'm going to take our lesson learned. Our lesson learned that you were able to help us get out of the text and make bigger is that sometimes you have to do scary things or things you don't want to do, and if you do them, they turn out to be not so bad, right? So I'm just going to quickly jot that. I'm going to say some things that seem scary aren't so bad once you do them. Okay, let's just do a quick check for character, problem, solution, lesson learned. Sam is nervous because he has to speak in front of the class. Sam relaxed, thought about the fun things he learned. It wasn't bad, he had fun. Some things that seem scary aren't so bad once you do them. Did we hit all our points? So you're going to get to return to this text at some point and do some more deep diving in into what the author was trying to help us understand, okay? Right now, though, you're going to listen up for your next direction.